Okay, hi YouTube. I'm gonna be looking at some tragic comedies today, both for my games. Both. The last three games I played, I've lost to three people under 1900. Feels pretty good. I don't know if I got the yips or what, but not to be confused with the Carissa yips. That's good to have. But absolutely soul crushing games. Yeah, we'll just get right into it. So, yeah, this first game I played last week on Tuesday, and I couldn't bring myself to look at it until now. I mean, I looked at it, but I didn't feel like talking about it till now because it was just too much for me. There is no other word besides soul crushing. So, this is the person I played in like one of my favorite games not too long ago. This game. Okay, I'll put that in the description. Omega lol. Where I just, kind of put him in a gimp suit. You know, it's like my favorite style. But this time I was black, and I played e4. I played c5. I might still have the score sheet for times. Is this the right score sheet? Yes, I believe it is. Okay. So my opponent showed up late, like 20 minutes late. And then he was spending a lot of time on this move. Like, he said he considered playing g3 because people just don't want to play into the Najdorf against me, which doesn't make sense because I suck at it. But so we got to this position, and he played bishop e3. So I played e5, and this is theory. Okay, here. So this is, I don't know any concrete theory from here on out. I just know ideas. I know that h3 is a move. I know that king b1 is a move. I know that I think you could play h4 here as well, I believe, and then this is the idea, and black castle's kingside. I don't know if it's exactly in this position. I had a game like that at the Denver Open. I won that game. It's pretty hot. But g3, so h3 is preparing g4 sort of. The thing is that when they play h3, if h3, I play b5, and then if something like this, then I go here. But okay, like he wants to get some play going, right? But g3 is very, very slow. And I had to spend some time here because sometimes g3, h3, bishop h3. What? That doesn't make sense, but I believe you. H4. Okay. Yeah, I thought, yeah, maybe that's the idea. I also thought maybe f4 is an idea or something. But I also noticed that, okay, g3 kind of weakens this square. So I put my rook on c8 because sometimes I want to be able to sack on c3. Like if he ever plays f4 or something, I can take. I meant to say, if this is the plan, then that weakens this. So I can take on c3 and take on e4 sometimes. Obviously, it's not. I don't think it's very good right away. I don't know. I would have to think about it. But that was why I played rook c8. Also, it's just useful. And then he played h3, and so h3 doesn't make any sense here, because g3 was just a waste of a move, because h3 is showing that you have the intention of playing g4, so g3 doesn't make any sense. You just gave me an entire tempo. H3 preparing bishop h3, yes. So I was, it was like, okay, so he just doesn't know what he's doing, so I'll play b5. Makes sense. King b1. Yeah, and, if he leaves the king here, he's got to be careful, like, because, this shit happens sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, also king b1 is usually just useful. Get out of this stuff, too. And then here, perhaps, what are you saying? Perhaps f4 without knight g4? Oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. I guess, but it's just too slow. It's just too slow. It's just not... You can't do that in this opening, unfortunately. So here he's just kind of not doing anything. So I decided to just like activate my pieces. I can basically, the point of knight b6 is I want to obtain the bishop pair, because either he's gonna have to do this or I'm gonna put my knight here and I'm getting the bishop pair regardless. So, then he plays this very strange move, rook h2. So, apparently this was his point. Okay, so, like, he thinks he's gonna get attacked, right? So he wants to, not get attacked. But he's white. So he shouldn't be playing this way with the white pieces. Just shouldn't be happening. You gotta like start doing something. So yeah, this doesn't do a whole lot. Plus, now I can just play b4. That was another point of knight b6 after, I'm defending this square now. And I had to calculate this, I think. My memory is not as fresh because I played this a week ago, so it might take me a minute to remember what I was thinking. But yeah, I spent 5 minutes here. I'll go through... I'm just trying to refresh myself with my thinking. Yeah, this... Knight b6 was kind of threatening b4, honestly. Because I'm also covering d5 another time. And the knight is running out of squares since the king is on b1. And if he plays... Oh yes, this was my idea. So b4, and then if he has to play knight e2, he's blocking his bishop in, and then the knight comes in without any resistance. So, and then I'd be getting the dark squared bishop, which is pretty good. I don't know if I would take it right away. So that was my idea, and he just sort of allowed it. But what I did have to look at is, of course, he doesn't have to play knight e2 and just allow this. Because yeah, he doesn't have a good way to defend this, really, and now I'm just doing this. And his knight, again, is just like, what is he going to play knight g1? Just bad. All his pieces are in each other's way. So, kind of his only option here is to just take this knight. This is something I had to consider. This is what happened. Because now that he takes the knight, now a4 is available for the knight. Now the question is, can he play knight a4? Is that helping him in any way? Because if it is, then maybe b4 isn't that great, but I had to think about this. I think I thought longer than move before about all this stuff, because oh yeah, so when I played knight b6, I thought for 13 minutes there. So I was thinking about all this when I played knight b6. That's why I was able to play b4 semi-quickly. So knight a4 is a blunder, or at least a mistake. But I have to be pretty accurate here, because if I'm not careful, it's just really complicated. So what he should do is play knight d5, and I was like, I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to take here. I think both moves are okay, actually. But I think I would have taken with the knight, perhaps. And this isn't so good because he just goes here. It's like, that's not really what I want. So I would probably play bishop d7 and just march this pawn up. And I thought this looked alright. Black is slightly better. But after knight a4, I have decisions to make. Because this knight is, basically trapped, right? It has no squares. But I have to put my queen on the right square. And I did not. So here are my candidate moves. Okay, queen c6, queen c7, queen b7, queen b8, I think is maybe okay as well. The thing is, if I put my queen on c6 or c7, then I have to really commit to just like being down a pawn, and I have to have a lot of faith in this attack. Queen b8 looks right because it's the fanciest, but it's not. I mean, it's a good move. Better than what I did. So, yeah. I guess, yeah, I don't know. This is a tough position. I thought for 15 more minutes here. So I'm on move when I made. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I played this move 2 different times. I looked at it the wrong time. I only thought for 4 minutes here. Okay, so my thinking was I want to attack the knight, so I went queen c6, and I thought after queen takes b4, I was gonna just play d5, and like this is messy. However, and that was my intention. However, when we got here, I realized in this position, like, this is not so clear after queen a5. I was like, okay, what am I doing now? Because he's taking this pawn, and this was just like difficult to understand for me. So when I got to this position, I didn't end up playing d5, even though it's like what I should do. So instead of queen c6, the best move is queen b7, because I'm defending both pawns. Makes sense. And then, okay, what does he do? I don't really know, because I'm pretty sure I'm threatening bishop d7. It really feels like a threat. So he has to play like queen, put his queen on this diagonal so his knight has a square. But yeah, this move is too subtle for me. I'm not good enough to play that move. So and I thought like this was a poison pawn. That's why I allowed this. But then when we got to this position, hold on. Oh, I already have it written down. I don't know why I'm looking at my score sheet at all. So when we got to this position, I saw that his queen could go to a5, which I guess I didn't see when I decided I was going to go for this line. And I just didn't know how to continue here. And this position is equal, so I lost my advantage completely. Which in my head, I didn't realize that queen c6 was my mistake. I thought that, okay, in this line, if I play d5, then I've lost the advantage. I didn't realize it was already gone. Although, as I'm letting the computer get to a higher depth, it's starting to like black. But only if okay, h4 is natural. Very natural move. Just inducing weaknesses, you know, making a good square for the knight. I was thinking like maybe knight e3 there, but if I play knight e3, he might just be able to do this, and that was like, I don't know, it was like exhausting to think about. But yeah, h4 is just very strong. If I had seen that, I think I would have played d5. Yeah, it's obvious when I look at it. But anyway, so then that was my thinking. I was like, I thought I still had the advantage here, because it's like, he's just going pawn grabbing, and it's like, he shouldn't be able to do this. So then I started looking elsewhere, and I don't know, I thought for a long time, and I decided to castle. And my point was, I want to put the rook on b8. But I guess, I don't know. I think he can just, like, go back now, is the thing, and he's just up a pawn. But it's hard for me to understand, because his queen is just like, it feels like it should be trapped, but it's not. And now I don't even have d5 as a resource because I undefended my bishop like a dingus. So that's what he should do. However, he played knight a5, and I had looked at this line and I thought it was just good for me. Because after queen c7, queen b6, like he's trying to force the queens off, like he did in the first game, because he like thinks that when the queens come off, that means it's less complicated, which it's not. But yeah, in this position, I had a brain fart. So I thought, okay, when I looked at this, I thought this line was forced. All right, I thought if he does this, okay, then he has to move the knight. I mean, he could play b3 if he wants to, but I don't know, like, because then the knight's permanently stuck on the edge, or it has to go here. Maybe that's fine. I don't really know. I don't really get it. Just he is winning this pawn. Although having the open files towards his king is uncomfortable. I don't know, I thought b3 was too weakening. But, so he has to go back, and then in this position, I thought I was just winning a piece. Because, you know, I saw this, and I saw this, and I thought that I had this move. Like, I don't understand it. I think it was because I castled in order to connect the rooks, and then for some reason, when I was calculating this, it didn't occur to me that I disconnected the rooks. And so I played bishop d8, a retreat, by the way. Whenever you play a retreat, just make sure that it's a good move, because like 90% of the mistakes people make, like above 2000, I feel like, are just retreats. And I know that, yet every time I make a mistake, it's a retreat anyway. So it's like, and then I went here and I realized this wasn't legal. And then I spent time like thinking about doing it anyway, but it's just not good. Because like it actually would be kind of interesting if he didn't have queen takes d6. And then I got even more infuriated, because if he doesn't have queen takes d6, then I mean his queen is like just trapped, right? But unfortunately, you know, diagonal retreat. So I wasted time and energy looking at rook p8, which isn't working. How much time did I have here? Yeah. So now I'm mad, and I think what I have to do is, I don't know, I considered playing queen a7, you know, try and get in here. But, or maybe not in this position. First I played queen c7 because I'm trying to, like, commit and, like, make my idea work and pretend like I did it on purpose, even though I didn't. So I played queen c7, knight b3, and then I couldn't come up with anything better than just putting the bishop back. It's very sad, but, so I gave him, like, 2 extra tempi, and a pawn, so now I'm just losing, probably. Yeah, bishop e7 is the best move, but it's very sad that it is. I don't think there was ever a point where, I mean, I was thinking about it a lot, here, maybe, but I was annoyed by, yeah, knight b3, and then he's gonna take on a6, and he's defending this way, you know, and he's, like, forcing the queens off, so it's very sad. I wanted to take on c3 in many positions, it just never, I could never make it work. Yeah, so here, yeah, I played bishop e7, there's nothing better, it's just a terrible position now. Thanks for the 5 months, Mr. Gazebo. And he's still trying to force the queens off, which is annoying me. I should probably trade queens, I don't know. I feel like I can't, though. I thought about playing queen a7 here, which might be interesting, because I'd like to play queen e3, but he just goes here, and then it's like, what the fuck is happening? I can't make any counterplay. It just sucks. So, again, I have nothing better but to put my queen back on d7. Because that's where it was earlier, right? Yeah. So now I'm, like, depressed. And I feel really bad. And now he's just playing simple moves. I'm under 5 minutes now. And I don't have an increment. The time control is game 70 with a 10-second delay. It's very weird time control, and I'm terrible at it. I keep getting in time pressure. I don't know. It's just difficult because there's so much to think about, and I'm not allowed. I hate that. So, yeah, I don't know. I take a pawn. I'm just trying to get something going because I realize that I'm close to losing, and I have to win because it's, 1700. So I'm trying to generate something over here. Queen f2, rook c8, and again, maybe I can do this. I'm still trying, But he defends that, so now I'm sad again. I go g6, I don't know, maybe I do this. I don't really know. There's not really a whole lot I can do, I'm just down a pawn. Maybe I can hold this for a draw, but then he started doing this shit where he just started moving his queen back and forth. And that infuriated me, because I hate losing games where my opponent does nothing. I'm the only one playing chess. They just respond the whole game. But I have to, come up with all the ideas, and I get tired because I'm the only one thinking. And they don't even earn it, So, and he just moves his queen back and forth. He just fucking moves his queen back and forth. And he offered me a draw. So he's moving his queen back and forth. He offered me a draw. We both have 3 minutes left. I understand that I'm losing, right? I know that. But the fact that he's showing so much weakness by just moving his queen back and forth and offering me a draw is like, oh, I guess I'm gonna win. Because, he's a low-rated player and he's just not doing anything. So I was like, when he did that, I just kind of assumed I would win, So I said no. No draw. And then I'm still, just kind of shuffling my pieces around. We get to this position. I don't remember any of this because I had no time. But, yeah, now he just goes rook b3. If he doesn't have rook b3, then I'm going to play c4, and I'm it's actually starting to get interesting again. But unfortunately he has rook b3, which I think I missed in the game, and then I was mad. And now he just puts his pawn on c4. I don't remember what happened after this. I ended up hanging my queen at some point. But, yeah, I mean, at this point it's just terrible. My bishop is awful. His knight is worth, all of my pieces combined. And I ended up losing. But like, I don't regret not taking the draw, because, listen, it feels just as bad either way. Because the game quality was the same, regardless if it's a draw or a win. It's just a matter of, do I lose 10 rating points or do I lose 20? And since I don't really give a fuck about my rating, I would rather go down in flames, you know, trying to win, than to accept a draw and, like, save my stupid rating points, you know? Because this game, again, I just, like, played against myself, and, I just suck, and I am not very good at calculating, and I'm not good at decision-making or time management. But yeah, I'm like, I don't feel bad that I didn't take the draw, because I don't think anybody would take the draw there, where he's just moving his queen back and forth. Oh my god! And it's, like, so infuriating, because he doesn't have to do anything. It's just so sad. And I was like, I don't know, I kind of deserve to lose for playing bishop d8, was my thought, you know? It's like, okay, if I lose, I deserve it, because bishop d8 was that bad that I deserve to lose. Anyway, that was that game. I'm getting mad again. Like, it was really, really infuriating. Yeah, exactly, Chelato. Okay, so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna be playing the Najdorf anymore anyway. I only played it because, so sick of, like, I haven't been doing my work, my research here with e5, and, you know, I already lost to 2 lower rated players in e5, and I was like, ugh, I don't know. Chess is so hard. You just have to put in so much work, or, you know, you lose. So, take this draw, or I'll keep moving my queen back and forth. Yeah, and it's like, does he not know that he's winning? Man. Okay, so, yeah. Alright. The next game was even worse.